Big win for Manchester United away at Bournemouth, and Liverpool held to a 1-1 draw at Anfield. United now with a 3-point gap. A last-minute equaliser. A last-minute equaliser from the exit in Firmino keeps Liverpool's top four hopes, Champions League football hopes, alive. But Man United have 2 games left. They need just 1 point against Chelsea on Thursday night to secure top 4 Champions League football next year. And this came against the run of play for a lot of people, predicting Liverpool to win their last 2 games, predicting Man United to lose against Bournemouth. What is your instant reaction to this? What are your thoughts and what are your feelings? As a Man United fan, I'm over the moon. A sensational goal from one of the signings of the season, Casemiro, an overhead kick. We should have killed the game off. We had the majority of the play. We really annoyed me today, but it's about results. This end of the season, results, 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 results. And Manchester United got it. Of course, I was annoyed by the Firmino goal. I'm not going to lie. I thought it could be secured today. Final 2 games of the season are essentially dead rubbers. But Liverpool keep the season alive. But the big question is, when we look at the Liverpool game, were they robbed by VAR? Were they? There's the offside decision. Was Van Dijk offside? Did the Aston Villa player deliberately play the ball? Should Tyrone Mings have received a red card for this challenge here on Gakpo? We want your thoughts and feelings. Were Liverpool robbed today by VAR? Did the referees, whether on the field or in a room with computers, make the right decisions? That's the big question. Champions League football is at stake. Tens of £millions are at stake. Fans are at stake. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on this right now. A lot of people saying no. A lot of people saying straight red. A lot of people saying it was like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. Great film. Great game. I always played with Raiden. He's my favorite. Mainly because of the election. And Sonya Blade. I like Sonya Blade as well. But listen, for me, I'm going to be honest with you, unless any of you can change my mind. I'm going to give you my opinion in a second. Remember, though, if you want to go to the FA Cup final, tickets are gone. They're being sold for £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 online. We've got a raffle going on. 2 lucky winners are going to win tickets to the FA Cup final. And on top of that, I'm going to give you £250 spending money. All you've got to do is enter the raffle now, scan the QR code on the screen, or click on our link in our live comments section or description below and go and get yourself entered. 6 days remaining only. Go and sort that out. Go and get that done. But in terms of were Liverpool robbed? The offside's offside. The offside is offside, in my opinion, because there was no deliberate attempt to... Playing the ball doesn't mean trying to stop it. Playing the ball is you're in control of the ball and you're trying to find an opponent with a pass. So a tackle or just trying to stick a leg up and it deflects off your leg isn't deliberately playing the ball by the letter of the law. So I think the VAR is correct on the offside decision. However, we have seen the precedent set this year. So you're going to get a difference here between my personal opinion and the precedents that are set. I think Tyrone Mings pulls out of that tackle, bends his leg, therefore a yellow would suffice. However, where you can argue that Liverpool were robbed is Casemiro received the red for winning the ball. His ball accidentally rolled over the ball, and it by chance hit the man's shin. By chance. They set the precedent there that even if you win the ball, if the follow-through is dangerous, you should receive a red card. So for me, based on the precedent set by the Premier League, set by the referees, set by VAR, they were robbed of that decision. Now, does it mean they win? In my opinion, yes. I don't think Villa could have put a performance in like this had there been the correct decision and Villa were playing with 10 men. But the offside is correct. There wasn't a deliberate attempt to play the ball and pass the ball in control of the possession, which means it should have been offside. And you want to go back and watch the clip back, go and watch the goal back and watch Van Dijk's celebration. Very meek, very, yeah, great, good goal. He knew. Van Dijk, just go back and watch it. Watch nobody else but Van Dijk. That isn't the celebrations of a captain when you equalize in a must-win game. It was too quiet, too calm. When everybody else is going radio. That's Cockney rhyming slang for mental, radio rental, mental. It was the only one. So I think that one decision was right, but the red card should have happened. I'm seeing Villa fans online, by the way, saying Konate should have got sent off. He made an attempt to play the ball. The double jeopardy rule exists. Some saying no, he made it look like he was trying to get the ball, but he was nowhere near it. I'm not a fan of the law change. I think if you deny got clear goal scoring opportunity, you should get red. However, they got that decision right. Konate should not have been sent off. They didn't even score for the penalty anyway. But again, if there's a red card, it may have changed things. But overall, one bad decision from the ref today. Listen, they added all the time on. I think it was like 19, 20 minutes of time added on today for Liverpool as well. And I say for Liverpool, they were the trailing team. The teams that are winning never want time added on. So I'm talking about it from that point of view. However, we may not get the grandstand end to the season now. It's a massive result for Man United. As a Man United fan, I'm buzzing. I'm not going to lie. Happy. Won't make me be biased and lie and twist and change things. Not my methodology. Not the way I behave as a man. But I'm buzzing with this decision. Sorry, with the results today. Not so much the decision. United now 1 point needed. 1 point. And that's it. Champions League football next year. And what a season it will be for Manchester United. We will have secured something nobody thought was possible. Some super chats here. Liverpool will hold that. UP. I don't know what the P stands for, but thank you. Can someone explain what VAR looked at for the Gakpo goal? So Virgil van Dijk was offside. In case you haven't heard it, Virgil van Dijk's in an offside position as the ball is played, and he's ahead of the ball. Now the ball does hit the first defender you can see on the screen, but he wasn't in control of the ball. Therefore, the ball deflecting off of him is not a deliberate attempt to play the ball. Therefore, Van Dijk, who then touches it next, is offside. That is what they gave it for. Next super chat here says, well, a boot to the head isn't a red, apparently, so no red today. Touche. Touche, I'll hear you on that one. Terry, you were lucky, but thanks, Aston Villa, for saving your season. I think with Man United, we were and we weren't lucky. Yes, there was 2 good saves in the game. One in the first half, one in the second half from David De Gea. There was a great shot at the end that went over. But you could also argue that Bournemouth were lucky that Man United don't have killers up front. And I'm going to get onto Man United a bit later. But if we had killers up front, we're 2-3, 4, 5-0 ahead. Again, another game we've dominated. Another game where we've been the aggressor. Another game where we've been the real force in the match. And we just can't finish our dinner enough. Liverpool has robbed 10 teams this season. Karma is what Ugly Hoodrat says. Liverpool in the mud, no red card is what Nabil says here. Karma is a bish. Liverpool, you'll never walk alone equals you're not winning anything is what Tad says. Thursday night football is crazy. Listen, I like having a big the Terrace loves a big team on a Thursday night. That makes our weeks easier to plan content for. So go on, Liverpool. You beat our Thursday night team. David De Gea just won the Golden Glove. Yeah, there's so much irony. Look, the thing is, for a goalkeeper, in terms of saving, he's perfect. Only Alisson, I would say, right now is a better shot stopper than him. In my view. I know he had that big bad mistake the other day, but I just think we need to move on beyond him still. It is what it is. It is what it is. Champions League football soon, Terry. Big up. Sorry, Liverpool fans. Well, I will say this now. I will say this now about Man United. Listen, play-wise today, very good. We had large percentage of the ball, 19 shots to 9. We were the dominant force again. The problem that we have, and I'm sorry to be negative on a day that should be positive for Man United, but Jadon Sancho, see you later. Garnacho did more in his first 30 seconds on the pitch than Sancho did for 70-odd minutes. When did he come on the pitch? 72 minutes Sancho had. Within 30 seconds of his arrival, Garnacho had done more. Not good enough. Martial, shot to bits, not good enough. Anthony, I'm still going to give him another year, but we need more from this boy. There was 2 or 3 times today, go on the outside and cross the ball, or go on the outside and shoot. Clear goal-scoring opportunities, doesn't do it. Bruno's not got his shooting boots on at the moment, unlucky with a great volley. But you take You look at our front three. Their job is to score the goals. There ain't no killers out there. We're bringing Veghorst on to kill games, and we're bringing on a teenager in his first season to win us. It's nonsense. Man United need more killers. Put more killers in this Man United team. Of course, we need some better midfielders and need to play it from the back more. But in terms of killing games like today off, just having killers in this team gives Man United 10 more points next year, 11 more points next year, 12 more points next year. You add 10 more points to Man United right now and stick us on to 79 points. We're only a handful of points away from a title race. A handful of points away from the greatest team everybody's telling me in Premier League history. Killers and a bit more in the build-up play, and that includes goalkeepers being able to play it from the back, and Man United will be where we want them to be. They really will. Because the rest of the game was fine. But what happens is when you don't kill games off, your opponents have a puncher's chance. They start swinging. You get nervous. You kill the game off in the opening 20 minutes as the play deserved. There's no threat. You take the confidence and the fight away from your opponents. So, yeah, look, there's some things to be disappointed about today, but that's about progression moving forward. Well, when it comes to the final, we'll talk about that on another day. But I'm just happy. I am just happy that, listen, this team needs Champions League football next year. We need it because I think we're going to be an exponentially better team next season. And I don't want to be doing that in the Europa League. I want to be doing it in the Champions League. Legit. You look at the teams in the Champions League this year, I honestly believe that, yes, we got knocked out by Sevilla. But I believe if we were in the Champions League, we could have gone quite far. I think we're better than AC Milan. I really do. I think we're better than Inter Milan. Like Real Madrid have been battered this year by Barca. We smashed them up. There's a team there 1 year into this rebuild. So I'm very, very proud. And like I said a few times before, people don't like hearing this, but it's the truth. Man United, we need one more point. We secure top four. The overachievement is massive. Everybody doubted us. Everybody says it wasn't possible, even just a week ago. And I know they're not here in the comment section now because I can't see Maradona the moron. I can't see any of these, man. There's a dude that's been on every stream of mine for 3 weeks saying, Terry Hassan and Liverpool are coming for you. Man ain't here now. Why? Why the cowardice? Because you doubted and you doubted and you doubted and you doubted, and we ain't losing our last two games. Football gods or no football gods, Man United are making it into the Champions League this year. And it's against all the odds, against all the predictions. And I don't want to hear any nonsense about, but, look at your squad, look at what you spent. Oh my God, you should be doing it. Then why didn't you predict it? Why didn't you say it? Why didn't you say, look, cut the bullshit for a minute, cut the banter. Man United, of course they'll make top four. The manager's too good, the squad's too good. Of course they're going to do it. You didn't. When we drop points to Brighton, when we drop points to Tottenham, you said we ain't making it. How'd you like them apples? Where you at, haters? Where's the apologies? You're the same. By the way, I don't actually want an apology. The reason I'm asking you, where are they? Because you wanted me to apologize for predicting Arsenal to win the league. Like I'm going to apologize for being wrong with a prediction. Like I'm some sort of cuck sap. Who do you think you're dealing with? So where's your apologies for being wrong? Where's your apologies for being wrong? Because it's so important to say sorry when you get a prediction wrong. Do yourself a favor and don't apologize. Don't be that pathetic. It's a prediction about football. However, the one thing you should do is I was wrong about Man United much better than we thought they'd be this year. Without a shadow of a doubt. Someone here says, there's a comment, where's it gone? 79 points will only guarantee you third place at best. To win the Premier League, you need 90, 95 points. So again, I said if you had 10 to 12 points, 10 would put us on 79. That'd be 6 points behind Man City as it stands right now. But we've got 2 games remaining. So we could get ourselves to mid to high 80s. They could win their last 3 games as well, indeed. But all I said was a handful of points off the top. 2 wins off top is a handful of points, isn't it? So my point to you is this. That's just with having some killers. You throw in better midfielders, better defenders, and a goalkeeper that can play it from the back, you're adding 15 to 18 points to this team. It's title challenging. Whether they've got the mental strength to finish it off is another question. But points-wise and ability to get there, on. Looks like Europa League for us. Okay, so be it. We go on and win it. That's the attitude to have. Ref was beyond appalling today. And I love that attitude, JB. I absolutely love that attitude, my friend. You know why? Because I hate this notion of, oh, Europa League, I'd rather go out and not be in it. Nonsense. That's the attitude of small, pitiful fan bases and clubs, not big clubs. You go and you win it, you add another trophy, you go on from that point. You try to win it. You absolutely do it. Let's have a little look here at some more of your comments here. Don't worry, Terry. We beat Man City for the Inter final. Listen, let's see what happens in that one there. And I will preach about people calling it out because you know what I'm sick and tired of? And this isn't about Man United. It's why I defended Arsenal this year. It's why I've defended other clubs in the past. I don't hear it be played down with nonsense, scraped over the line. That's what you're going to hear on TalkSport this week. Take it to the bank. TalkSport have very weak Man United representation on their barring Goldbridge. They have weak representation. You'll hear it from the Simon Jordans and the O'Haras and the Cundys and everybody else. It will be, but they should be there. We knew they would do it. Why are Man United fans even happy to be in the Champions League? You should be there anyway. By name only. Worst season in 40 years last year. Written off by 95% of all professional pundits. They won't come out now and say they're wrong, though, because they're cowards. Because they're cowards. They'll just change the narrative. Change the narrative, point blank. And that's why they'll never have somebody like me on there with them. Because I would rip them a new one. Politely as well. I don't need to swear. Don't need to be nasty. I would take them all to school. Every single one of them. And Man United needs stronger representation online. Because for me, I even see people like bow down to... You get pundits on these shows say things like the Glazers aren't that bad. And the Man United representation say, I get what you mean. It's, oh, no, yeah. Honestly, it's crazy. Get better Man United fans on there. There's literally only two that do a good job. Goldbridge and Flex. I can't remember anybody else doing a good job. Liverpool, Europa League, here you come. As a Man City fan, I'm loving it. Now, Terry, don't say there might be a good chance they might screw it up. They might screw it up, but they'll be favourites next year for the Europa League, Liverpool, no doubt. Thanks, Elcino and Milner. Of course, Firmino and Milner ending their time at Liverpool, their last games at home today. Terry, they predicted us 7th and we have top 4 and possibly the same trophies as Liverpool's quad season. Very, very true. Listen, we're not favourites for the FA Cup final. We've got a chance in it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But Premier League-wise isolation, fantastic season for us. Defied the odds, overachieved, back in the Champions League with a big summer with maybe a new owner ahead. Exciting times to be a Man United fan. And don't let anybody else... There's things to work on. There's things to be frustrated about. But that's for the summer. We know what they are. For Man United fans, trajectory's going up. The future looks bright. Be happy. Be excited. Because Man United are on their way to being a top team again. We won't do it if the Glazers remain. But with new owners, this manager, a brilliant summer ahead, Man United are going to become a top team. We absolutely will. I have no doubt about that in my mind. Yes, Sam from United People's TV is good, but I don't see him on TalkSport or Sky. That's what I'm saying, my friends. So I'm not saying on YouTube. I'm saying on on the mainstream media is what I was specifying, my friend. So lots of good content creators. They need to get us on the channels because Man United get ripped apart and they have no one there to defend us. I cut my farts here. Says, hi, mate. I'm so happy to see United in the Champions League again. Give Ten Hag another reasonable budget and the future will be bright. Loving it. Absolutely. Remember, £550 million spent by Pep in his first 2 seasons in a team that was already winning trophies. Man United need to do the same. Don't hold back, but you've got to buy well. You've got to spend it responsibly. Buy the right players. I love this comment here. Terry overdoing it again. Overdoing what? Being happy that my team has surpassed our expectations at the beginning of the season. Hell no. Very happy. Very happy because they also know where we're going. This isn't like an Ollie season where I'm like, I know we've got in the top 4, but I don't have any hope for the future. There's a fundamental difference. The future's bright. The future's red. That's all I can think right now. Right, I'm bringing my panel out to have their say. Do me a big favor and smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Football Terrace as well. More super chats on the way soon. Keep them coming in. Let's do this. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all good. We will come to Liverpool, but Dizzy, one point away from that Champions League, bro.
Yeah, bro. You know what? Liverpool are so lucky. You man are so lucky, fam. You was about 10 minutes away from me coming on here and cooking you, fam. But I will delay this for another week. Mark my words. If United close it out next week, I need some of you man here. I need Samuel here specifically. I need him on an island because he was talking crazy. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the result. And to be honest, I was watching the game. I was thinking about our season, and if you think about it, what has United's season been really? It's been we had a terrible start. We were floating up until the end of February, start of March, and then injuries hit us, and our seasons fell apart. And that's due to squad depth. That's due to the quality of the players that we have in general. That's due to the tiredness, overplaying them. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing for me to complain about as a United fan this season. I think it's been a great season, and we just need to close it out. Really, that's my whole takeaway.
I hear you completely on closing it out, KJ. I know obviously you were deflated the other night when sort of City got through to that Champions League final. You've been very frustrated with United in recent weeks, but it feels now like the job. I know one more point is needed, but 2 home games with an imperious home record, we should see that through.
Yeah, they should. All it means, all we need is the players to be switched on, and we can make top 4. I know I'm saying that I feel like we'll drop off and we wouldn't do it, and I was not expecting the Liverpool result, but besides that, today it just shows us that we need people who can score goals. Because we can't face Dominic Solanke every week. Because Tom was telling me about the Solanke story, the Solanke storyline. We can't face Solanke every week. He can't score against us. We need to score more goals, man. The forward line, Martial was hella stiff. Sancho is not providing much. Anthony, frustrating as Anthony is, we just need to give more. But they're going into the next 2 games. 1 point is all we need. I don't care how we get at this point. Today was very hard. We got the W. 1 point out of 2 home games. I don't care if it's a goal off Maguire's head. He didn't even realize it's happening. I don't care if it's a screamer from David De Gea from his goal line. I don't care how we do it. As long as we get this point, I will be happy. I'll be happy. We would have completed the objectives. And also, we can look forward to the FA Cup without feeling deflated. The mentality does need to build, but I think also that comes with better quality. But overall, me, DZ, and the others have been saying, we don't care how we get top 4 this last bit of run. As long as we get the W's, we're happy. So I am there. 1 more point, people. Flipping hell, let's go.
Absolutely. 1 more point needed for Man United. Look, and I know it isn't 100% done. I'm going to risk the wrath of the football gods. We're at home to Chelsea. So I am very confident we can get a point out of that game. Our home form has been incredible. Canadian Cam's here with us now. A big and important win for Man United today. You confident we'll get over the line?
Yeah, we should. I got to be consistent, though, because I've been telling everybody to stop it with the predictions before things are over. We should doesn't mean we will. I think it's like improbable. Like the probabilities in our hands. Like KJ said, we just got to score more goals. And I mean, I think you're spot on about Sancho, and it kills me because I want him to be good so bad. But that Garnacho came in and instantly into the group chat. I'm like, all right, well, that's embarrassing. Within 20 seconds, he's already shown us that you can run at these Bournemouth defenders. Like you can put them under pressure. And the whole time I'm sitting there being like if Sancho looked good in possession, he looked good like holding the ball, but in the final third, it basically got there and it just stalls. And I was like, come on, every single time. Anthony, honestly, like I think we're a bit hard on him. Again, his first season, he did have an opportunity to score on that break, but as the commentator said so savagely, he has no right foot, so he couldn't keep going. Weghorst even coming on and looking better than Martial. It's crazy how much burst he's lost. So it's like I'm in like a good mood because obviously getting the win was really important. But when you look at it now, because I'm starting to think next year, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of like even with David De Gea, I love David De Gea. Everybody knows it, but I was noticing guys weren't passing back. Like there's moments where in position they were purposely turning into danger, and I'm like, that's because they don't want to pass it back. And yes, he made the huge save.
It reminds me of this super chat here. It says, David De Gea not good enough. What games are you watching? And I think, look, forget it's not about it's not about his shot stopping per se. It's about his inability to play it from the back.
Yeah,
and also
so to be balanced on the David De Gea thing, because everybody knows I love him. Like, listen, the shot he saved for Moore saved the game. And he had a few good shots. But like, if you're watching the game and you're seeing the way the players are moving around him, when you're thinking about we need to just keep possession, there was a few times where I watched them overlook. They're like, I'm not going to pass it to David De Gea, and put themselves kind of in a bad situation. And that's just because they know that's more dangerous. So either way, next year, I think if we can get a Kane or anybody else up front, we're going to be fine. We're looking real good now. Bruno had his worst game of the season for me. This is a terrible game from Bruno. I'll let Staffy go off on him because I know he wants to talk about Bruno. But I personally am very happy with the win. And I think everybody was talking about Liverpool coming. Nobody considered the fact that Liverpool was going to drop points. That's what was killing me. I'm like, you realize like Liverpool also can drop points. This is not just a United thing. It's much harder for what Liverpool had to do than what we had to do. People were discrediting teams like Villa and such, and it was like, they're going to drop points. I didn't want to say it a lot, but they were going to drop points, and we saw it. And Tom predicted this would happen weeks ago. Well, I want to hear about it now. Tell me about
I got him. Don't worry, Kim. I got him.
Oh no, he's got me. I got a prediction wrong. Oh no.
I'm here for a reason, bro. No. Listen. Don't do that shit.
What am I ever gonna do? I got a prediction wrong.
Don't do that shit now, okay? Because you were coming on every stream acting so tough and saying all that shit. You don't. Listen, I'll tell you something, Tom. Let's start with an apology, and that apology is not to me. That apology is to your fans. I want you to apologize to your fans right now on this stream. Hold on, let me finish. I want you to apologize to your fans right now because all that bullshit you fed them. Anyone who believes in you and thinks you're credible for what you're saying, you fed them bullshit like Dominic Solanke. Solanke, that's where your hope is on. Oh, I see Manchester United dropping 3 more games. Oh, we're gonna end every game till the end of the season. How does that look right now? Talking with all that chest just to lead on your feds. You know what you did, bro? I'm so happy that you guys tied because that's one more week of leading you guys on. And at the end of the season, that last week, you guys are gonna be left with blue balls because all that leading on is taking you to nothing, bro. Telling me we're gonna lose to Dominic Solanke. You know how desperate you have to be to rely on Dominic Solanke? No way, bro. I sent them guys in the chat. KJ, I'm mad at you too. Terry, I want you to look at your WhatsApp because I sent you something too. Everyone is getting it today.
Okay.
This guy said after the West Ham game that top 4 is over. And I'm talking to you, KJ, right now. And I told you, KJ, I'm gonna come for. I was like, KJ, I'm gonna come for you after. I was like, I'm gonna come for you later in the season. And you said, okay, you, bro. You know why I'm disappointed in you, bro? Because as fans, Tom, that's what he's supposed to do. He's my rival. We could troll each other. I could be like, oh, you were wrong. Oh, you got the prediction wrong. I got the prediction wrong. But he's a rival. He's meant to do that. But you caved in, bro. You caved in. You know when they make fun of these fans earlier in the season when we were like, oh, we're 5 points away from City. We might win the league now. Throwing away top 4 after a couple bad results, to me, is as bad as that. Because as much as people were reactionary saying we're going to win the league for winning, for you to think we're going to throw away top 4 for losing a couple games, that's even worse for me. Because we were sitting here singing Ten Hag's name for 3 months, saying how amazing he was from January to March. And a couple bad results, and we're like, you know what, bro? I don't trust these players anymore. What? But how about the manager? We were trusting the manager. We were winning. Don't celebrate when he's winning. I want you to trust him when we're losing or we're having a couple bad results because that's how I trust someone. If I trust you, I'm going to be with you in the good and in the bad. But the minute it went south, bro, half these guys jumped ship already. KJ, you said it's over. You didn't say, I think it's over. Yeah. You said it's over, bro.
Yeah.
How can you do that, bro?
How can I do that? Because the history of Manchester United that we've seen for years. It's not like we've been winning for years and years and years, and then we've had one little bad period, and it's a boom, I don't believe anymore. We've constantly seen this from this Man United team with the same players constantly where they're about to look like they're about to do something and they collapse. Even this season, we went through a period like, yes, the Barcelona game, Newcastle, and we had Leicester. Like
that's what I meant, January to March, period.
Yeah, that little period was the first acid test that we had. We passed it. I was happy. I was gassed. Then we had Liverpool, we had Sevilla, and that little period there that we had where you had these acid tests and they failed miserably. So of course, a part of me is going to be like, look, last season was a disaster. 2-3 years ago, we've seen this. 5 years ago, we've seen this. This is right now, this is something that Man United are used to. So yeah, of course, as much as I love Ten Hag and I believed in him, there's still players from those periods that were dropping his points and bottling his moments. So yeah, I'm cool. I caved in. But you know what? This is what I want my players to do. I want them to prove me wrong. I want them to show me that they're better than what I think they are. And if they keep doing that, I'm always going to be happy. And if you keep doing that, guess what, Staffy? I'm not going to cave again when we're in this situation again, am I? So
should have never caved, Cage.
I hold that.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We got Staffy. You got to get back on Tom. You let him skate too easy, man. He ain't even getting
what more can I say about this guy?
We're going to come back onto Liverpool in a minute. I want to do some super chats here. One here says, smells like barbecue in the summer. KJ is good.
Hey, man.
Everyone's going to
I didn't know quality anyway, man.
This here says, still have a better chance of winning in the
Europa League.
Europa League than Man United. Listen. Look, I've seen a few comments from people say United in Champions League, what we're going to do. Listen, rivals. I just got to say this to you now. You're not going to like it. We have got, as long as we get new owners, that is the only precursor. Man United are going to another level next season. Be prepared for that. Be prepared. You can laugh at it all. I'm not saying we'll catch City and beat them to the league title, but Man United are going to be a different level again next season. Watch out. Watch out. And I think you all know in your heart of hearts, I think you all kind of know, add some killers up front, add a better midfielder, better defenders, and a goalie that plays out from the back. You throw in Costa, Kim, a Caicedo, and Harry Kane into this team. Don't tell me that ain't going. Don't tell me that's not getting 15 to 20 more points in the league. It is, without a shadow of a doubt. And that is a team that can compete in the Champions League without a shadow of a doubt. So get used to that. Nabil here says, facts, KJ is so weak. He takes it so bad, it's beyond me. You are so biased and based on race. There I said.
He's trying to say that I don't like players because they have a certain race, or I do like players because of a certain race.
Because they're white. I can tell you through personal experience working with KJ, he doesn't like me because I'm English. That's true. It's absolutely
KJ's only discrimination and bias is if a man is a man of God. If a player is a man of God, that's it. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
He likes you more if you're religious. That's about it.
That's
only bias.
I was going to say this now, Nabil. KJ has no, I will say this genuinely. KJ is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. That's wild, bro. So slow that down, G. Seriously, slow that down.
Yeah, cook his footballing opinion. Don't try to cook him personally because he's not like that.
That's a madness.
Yeah.
Terry, I miss my generation because listening to this United fan talking nonsense, all I'm saying is top four is not good enough for both Man United and Liverpool. It isn't in the long term, but in the short term, it's a step to where we're moving towards. And yes, this doesn't quench my thirst for what I want from Man United, but I believe we've got a chance in the Champions League next year, so we've got to be in it to win it. If we're not in it, we can't win it.
There, can I respond to that? Because he's basically talking about what I just said.
Yeah,
I didn't celebrate top four like that. The only reason I'm talking like that is because there's been a rivalry going on, and us and Liverpool been going at it. I never celebrated top four. I'm not even saying anything crazy for next season as winning the Champions League or winning the league. I don't like our standards. I get that. But what's going on right now is basically beef that's been going on for a couple of weeks on this show between like me and Tom or just Liverpool fans in general. So don't say like, oh, because of this Man United fan and the standards. Nothing has to do with the standards. The standards weren't mentioned. We all know where we need to go next year and the next couple of years. Terry says it every time where he wants the team to go up and go up to competing. So me celebrating this is more of just like me dissing the people on the panel right now. Nothing that has to do with our standards as a club.
And to this super chat. Real quick, Terry, real quick. How am I the most pessimistic when we won the Carabao Cup, I said we can win the Europa League and the FA Cup? How am I the most pessimistic when I said, if we get top four, at the start of the season, I said, if we miss out on top four, it'll be by 1 point or 2 points. And people were trying to tell me, no, you're going to miss out by 10, 15, you're going to finish 10th. How am I pessimistic when we had the Europa League final against Villarreal? I said we would win. I said we'll win the Carabao Cup. Hey, listen, in the moment, if there's a moment where I feel like we're going to win, I'll say how I feel. That's all it is, people. That's all it is.
There we go. I obviously want to talk about the Liverpool game as well, because it although Man United win matters more to us as United fans, in the grand scheme of things, the Liverpool game had a lot of controversy in it. Big VAR decisions. Liverpool fans asking the question, were we robbed? Were you, Tom?
I don't think we deserved to win because I don't think we were the better team. 100% we were the best team. Aston Villa were better than us, but we should have won because I don't know on what grounds they've ruled out that first goal. Like I'd love to get an explanation on it because the way I see it, any defender in that situation when Diaz is headed it backwards is always going to make a deliberate attempt to play that ball because they're trying to clear the ball. If he's made a deliberate attempt, which every defender in that situation would do, Van Dijk is then onside, no other infringement happens. But like I said, we didn't deserve to win it. So many players stunk today. Trent, worst game since the system change. Salah couldn't get anything going until the 89th minute, and that was one moment, and stunk up all of other time. The entire midfield, awful. I cannot... The Alexis McAllister news came out during the game that, you know, we've agreed personal terms. It's looking like he's definitely going to be a Liverpool player in the summer. That will be the happiest moment of my life in the past couple of years will be when Alexis McAllister starting over Jordan Henderson, because all my days watching him play at right centre mid, I've been watching the playoffs in the past couple of days. Barry Bannon for Sheffield Wednesday. I'd rather have him at right centre mid than Henderson. That's the way he's been playing at the minute. The defence, awful. Canate just looked at sea today. Emery got it right against us. So no, we didn't deserve to win. But the decisions that went against us today, you can say, oh, it's, you know, it bounces out because of the Jota one earlier. Fine. We'll ignore Cody Gakpo getting studded in the chest. The penalty one, where right at the end of the first half, I saw that get given this season on Kevin De Bruyne.
Tom, I saw that got given in the game, during the game. It's the exact same thing.
I'm just asking for consistency. I'm asking for consistency. If you're going to say that's a penalty, and then all the referees afterwards come out afterwards and say it's a penalty, then it's a penalty. And again, that's little. It's the offside one which I'm stuck on because I don't know what grounds they've disallowed. That is the first time I've ever seen a referee get sent to the monitor for offside.
It's not. I swear he did the same for the Liverpool goal that he scored against Wolves. So
I can't. When?
He was sent to the monitor. He was sent to the monitor because they asked the referee to determine whether or not they felt that the Villa player deliberately.
Do you believe he deliberately played it
or not? So again, so of course he tries to make an attempt to touch the ball, but under the laws of the game, when they talk about deliberately play the ball to stop an offside player from being offside, it's you need to be in control of the ball making a pass. When Salah scored a goal in the FA Cup earlier on this season.
Wolves, yeah.
And the guy made a header. For me, I didn't think there was enough contact on the ball nor control of the ball for that to be considered a deliberate attempt on the ball. So I thought they were going to give the goal based on that precedent that they set, but everybody said that was wrong. So for me, I don't think there was a deliberate attempt. The guy's kind of flicked his foot up and it's kind of deflected off of him and gone to Virgil van Dijk. I think the biggest controversy and the only controversy in this game is Ming staying on the football pitch. Based on, because I'm telling you now, if Casemiro made that tackle, if Granit Xhaka made that tackle, they are 110% sent off the football pitch.
Granit Xhaka got sent off for it last season against us.
I think Liverpool should feel aggrieved there, but then all you're going to get back is, well, where were you guys campaigning for Jota to get a red card? And again, I know you never want your own players to get sent off, but unless you have consistency, no one's ever going to take
the thing is, no. But one minute, on Terry, on this channel, both Tom and I, and maybe there are other people there as well, I can't remember. Both Tom and I, as an example, maybe other Liverpool fans had a different opinion. We both said that Joshua has been sent off at that time. Yeah. So, like, we've always been pretty consistent with that. And actually, in this instance, because doesn't Ming win the ball and it's the follow through that catches him?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
But I was going to say,
winning the ball is not always the be all and end all, because if you're endangering your opponent, you're endangering your opponent. But I'm not as harsh on that one as I am on Jota's one. Jota's one is more of a red card for me than that one.
Yeah. But I was going to say, question for the panel though. You know, you're just saying, Terry, based on reputation, if it was a Xhaka or Casemiro, they're straight off. Wouldn't we all agree Mings kind of has a reputation anyway? He's been sent off quite a few times in his career. I thought it would be a straight red. I was quite shocked it wasn't. But I would think Mings does have a reputation.
I think it's just a simple case. The referee was just poor for both sides. I think both sides were getting away with those little tactical fouls. I think both sides should have got a lot more yellow cards than they should have. I think Fabinho, Konate should have got a yellow card. No, but also Mings and Konsa and Martinez should have got yellow cards early in the game. Like it swings around about. But the fact is, the Gakpo the challenge of Gakpo from Tyrone Mings is unequivocally a red card. It's the same challenge that Nigel de Jong did against Xabi Alonso. It's the exact carbon copy.
Yeah.
And if you see what happened afterwards, the way Gakpo lifted his shirt up and said, "Look at the stud marks on my chest," it says it all.
And so here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. This is the problem. This is the problem with football discussions in general, and the banter and the hold that and the deal with it, and you're just mad because VAR and VAR testing, but all that nonsense. It get to your team and you're like, wait a minute, this ain't fair. But they're doing this all season. The refs in the Premier League are dogs.
Careful, Dizzy. You might.
Yeah, no, but no, you're speaking to the wrong people. You're speaking to the wrong people because we've been calling it out all season.
Even when managers do come out, they get fined £75,000 or even more.
I hear that though, but this is what I think it's going to take. And I've been saying it for 4 years straight on the terrace. It's going to take Man United getting robbed and Liverpool fans standing up and campaigning on our behalf to change it. It's going to take Arsenal getting robbed and Chelsea and Spurs fans on their behalf standing up and campaigning against it. When you only ever campaign against it, you might say, "Oh yeah, Jota should have got sent off," but you're not writing letters to the FA to ban Jota for 3 games. And I know that people will look at that and go, "That's why would you ever want your own club to be punished or punished sort of after the fact?" But it's the only way we can hold the refs accountable. What they know they'll get away with is that when there's something bad happens to Liverpool, 19 other teams go and laugh, and it goes away after a day. It's only one group. You need all football fans to come together to stop this. We saw the other day on Monday Night Football where they played the audio. Now they only played the audio of decisions they got right. Did you notice that? They were like only decisions where we all went, that was correct. They didn't play the audio of Arsenal's lines not being drawn. They didn't play the audio of Casemiro's neck grab. They didn't play the audio of Jota's head clash. They didn't play the audio last year of Harry Kane's red card tackle. I want to say that was against Robertson in the Liverpool game. And I keep saying this to people. In life, there are times where the only way you make change is by pushing for things that may actually hurt you in the short term, whether it's emotionally or literally. But unless you're willing to step through that, it's never going to change. So I almost feel like we either stop moaning about referees or we stand up for each other's clubs and create something against it and make a real splash in the ocean. Because when it's one club at a time, it's a drop in the ocean. And what we really need to do is to create a tsunami.
We shouldn't be the ones who have to do that, though. We should not be the ones who have to. The fans of football should not be the ones who have to go and do that. These are paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. They are marketed as the referees of the best league in the world. And every single week, there is a new headline about an awful refereeing decision getting made.
Forest has just scored. Sorry to cut you. Forest has just gone 1-0 up.
Is it Tyrone?
The problem is
I'm scared. I'm scared.
These referees,
I'm not.
the referees aren't making deliberate mistakes. Like I don't believe in conspiracy theories and bias and all that kind of. So in that case, what do you do? Because then you've got a situation in a practical level. What do you do? Do you does VAR check everything, and how can it check it more quickly? Do referees' on-field decisions get bypassed? I don't know. Like, I understand what you're saying, Tel, but on a practical level, I don't know how that would actually be.
Can I just ask a question though? Besides because we can talk about the refs all that we want. What were you guys doing during the game?
Awful.
I'm literally about to talk about that. I was literally about to
So
talk
what are you guys
about
doing
that.
during the game? Because we all here agree. Well, we all agree the refs are crap. And what did we say on the terrace, especially Terry? We have to be better than the refs because if we don't win games, we made more mistakes than the ref made mistakes, right? So what went
KJ
wrong
on that?
with Liverpool?
KJ on that. I said in the group chat, I had a back and forth with Neeks a little bit about the refs, and I said in the end, I don't like to talk about the refs because we should be better so that we don't let the referee decision affect what is going to happen in the game. First of all, let's just put that out there. We were crap. We were absolutely crap. I did not expect this from Liverpool. I actually thought that Newcastle would drop out the top 4 and we will get into the top 4. But that didn't happen, and I was wrong when saying that. I got a prediction wrong. There we go. But in this match alone, my word, the creativity. And I'm going to give it to Aston Villa. They defended very well. Yeah. As in, I saw 7 at the back at one point. 7. And they were clearing everything. Did not give us any space at all. But these are the things that we need to think about next season. about creating space when teams are going to do that, because there's going to be a lot of teams that will do that against us, because they know that we are the better team, and for them to even get a point against us or get a win against us, they need to sit back and counter-attack. And Unai Emery's game plan almost came off from obviously Bobby Firmino, and big shout out to you, last home game, scored that goal. So, but we were absolutely terrible. We were terrible. And also one more point, I know
Omar just stunk it up. Certain players.
Yeah.
Honestly, Luis Diaz. Have we touched on Luis Diaz? Because I've never wanted to strangle someone so much in my life for how much
he needs to release the ball. He just needs to release the ball.
You know them players when you play on the street or Sunday League who take it past someone and decide, no, that wasn't good enough. Let me go back.
Go back and try and do it.
He tried to take on every Konsa 4 times and lost the ball at the end, and then sits there and goes, oh no. Our fans have got onto Curtis Jones for that in the past, and that's fine because he was awful at it, and he was awful at it against today, and this is his worst game in the past month. But Luis Diaz took it to an entirely new level today. I've never seen anyone try and do that so much in a Liverpool shirt, and that killed off so many attacks in that first half because we kept catching them in that first half where there was 2-on-3, but it falls to Diaz, and you just sit there and go, he's going to try and take someone on, and then you get back into shape. And then we went back to crossing again. And then we went back to all the things that we normally do wrong.
And this is where we need to stop doing that.
We need the midfielders.
And
we need new midfielders.
I just want to add on the midfielders bit, yeah, because when I watched this game, I saw that when Aston Villa played that bank of 6 or 7, they weren't playing a completely deep line. They were actually quite high.
You kept
but the problem is we didn't have the cuteness or even the midfielders to find the right weight of ball or find the right ball. And I'm so thankful that there's been news about Alexis McAllister, because someone like him would have come on and done a little bit of something.
Have you noticed though, when they released the news, it's so perfectly timed. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
like, that's
it
what I mean.
Do you know what's so?
It's true news, but this is what I keep saying to fans: don't buy your club's PR nonsense. They released it when you're losing and fans are getting angry. Just be very mindful of that.
I was just going to say, this is what's so frustrating about Thiago and why we can't rely on him, because this game was tailor-made for him. We needed him, but a player that's just injured all the time, it's no good. And this is why personally, I wouldn't really mind if he was to get rid of Thiago, because we all know availability is the best ability. But I just want to speak on Trent, because after the 6-1 win against Leeds, I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I did say, once you've got 3 combative midfielders that swarm Trent, it may not look as rosy. Don't get me wrong. Second half, they sat off and you start to see Trent have more of the ball. But after the 6-1 win, I said, when you get an industrious 3, Trent might look as good, because Kamara, Douglas Luiz and Jacob Ramsey, they were on him, especially first half. Second half, not as much. But the minute he got the ball, they were onto him. And I do agree with Tom. It's also quality-wise. We know Trent's been in scintillating form the last 6-7 games. But second half, when he had more time on the ball, there was no quality in the passes.
I don't even think it's that. You know what it was in that first half? We can sit there and say he got pressed in that first half heavily, and he did. But do you know how you get out of a press? You have an option. Honest to God, I think Jordan Henderson is the only man who can be marked by the referee. I've seen that man. Marked by the referee.
Do you know what's funny?
And you sit there and you watch it
instead of the right.
And then his crosses. Honestly, Jordan Henderson is like a social experiment the past couple of games.
Let me just add on to what Romel said. Let me just add on to what Romero said, because I'm actually slightly glad about this game. Because before this, people were saying to me that, oh my word, Curtis Jones and Trent is going to save Liverpool money. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Please no. No. And I know this is a bad result for us, and we're probably not going to get top 4 out of this. But this has showed us that they still need a lot of reconstruction in that damn midfield. Trent and Curtis Jones are not going to do it. Go out and get 3 midfielders at least, please.
You definitely need that. I want to go to some super chats here. The first one says, the only thing shocking about the ref on VAR's decision today was that they didn't all go for Liverpool as normal.
No, the only shocking thing was the referee today was the 4th official the day Jurgen Klopp squared up to him at Tottenham. How it can be suspended as well.
That's on your manager for being a thug, mate. Looks like Europa League for us. Okay, so be it. We'll go on and win it. So we've already done that one, actually. F the Scousers is what Tampatoon has got to say here.
Yeah.
He tries to clear it for a corner. According to the rules, goals should have stood. Unsuccessful clearances doesn't change that he played the ball.
No, that looked techie. That looked like a reflex more than it did him. If for me personally, anyway, it was a bit techie. When I've heard it be explained on the TV as opposed to reading the rules by referees, like a half attempt of a clearance isn't a deliberate attempt to play the ball because you're not in control of it. So yeah, it depends on interpretation, I suppose, but that's why the referee went to the VAR box. So thank you for the super chat. Today showed that when Rashford doesn't play, United are slow, need to add pace. Osherman needed. Garnacho was the only player to attack. Listen, if we had again, you just add killers to this team, and Man United are a different animal.
And you know
animal.
The madness is for large parts of the season we've been in position to win and close out games up 1-0 or up 2-0. It's just that the fact that now we sit back because we got no outlet. That's when we concede and drop points. Really, so the job's almost done.
I agree. And Nabil here says Liverpool fans saying that they will be on the top 4. Where are they? By the way, where is Zayn?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Where's Zayn?
Oh, yeah.
Where is Nostradamus himself? Where is Bav? Bav, top 4, bruv. You mean top 4 on fucking bullet, bruv. You know what I mean, shit, bruv. You don't know ball like me, bruv. You know what bruv. Klopp, bruv. Ten Hag, bruv. You're a bruv. I'm a bruv. Everyone's a fucking bruv. It's a madness with him. Where is he at? Where is
he's celebrating somewhere. Listen, he's celebrating somewhere.
Sorry, Terry. Bring that back quick. So Bill likes to mention my name without context or reference. My man just saying things, bruv. Saying, bruv. Yeah. I didn't say let's lose to Barcelona. This is why you're a spoonhead. I didn't say let's lose to Barcelona. I said if we lose to Barcelona, I can accept it considering what we were happening during that time. That's completely different to saying, oh, let's go and lose to Barca, boys. It's gonna be great. Come on, Nabil, you're better than that. Wow. I think you are.
Yeah, spoonhead. Yes, old school expression. I had a feeling United wouldn't bottle it. The rest came at the perfect time. United still in Europa League wouldn't be getting Champions League. Yeah, it wouldn't be good for us. We need the Champions League next year.
I don't think he's wrong.
I don't think he's wrong either.
Loved our win today, but we see J-Ling's version 2.0 leave the club for free and brought J-Ling's 2.0 for 75 million and gave him the number 25. Look, I've defended Anthony a lot this year. There are things about him I know that need to change.
Sancho, you're talking about.
Oh, Sancho. Sorry, I thought he was talking about
25.
21.
Yeah, but this is a bad thing. This is a bad thing. I'm not even sure of all our players' numbers. I don't look at the shirts. I don't go on the website. I don't know.
Same.
But for me, like with Sancho, I said it before, he's a cream puff. And a lot of people are like, oh, you want Sancho? I would say amicably to him and say, listen, I think you've got great skill. But why? I'd love to ask him, why are you so scared of defenders? He just fronts them up and then passes backwards. He doesn't have, whether it's, and I think the fear is because he doesn't have the explosive speed. The Bundesliga is slower, and I think over there he was a quicker, like pound for pound was quicker. Here, he ain't got the speed. He didn't try and beat anybody. That's why when Garnacho comes on, he knocks it past and he run past somebody. Sancho is just not a Premier League football player. And I saw him in the Bundesliga. I thought, yeah, he can translate. He's come here. He hasn't got the explosive speed. He just doesn't have the power. He's too, I don't know what the word for it is. He's small. He's not athletic at all.
Wait, hold on. Let me say something. Can I say something? Let me say something.
Yeah.
What is this notion that he had a bad game today? Because I've heard it way too many times. I let it go the first few times. He didn't have a bad game today. What are you guys talking about? Hold on. This guy, no, hold on. Because Garnacho came on and took a man on and did nothing, absolutely nothing with it. He crossed it right away and it got blocked by the.
Suck your mom, yeah, I said suck your mom.
There's no way. No way you can get a good game.
Can I talk?
United Civil War. We need more of this.
Can I talk now? Because Garnacho came on and took on one defender, crossed it, got blocked by the first man, and it went to a corner, I think, something like that. Everyone lost their minds. Sancho did nothing wrong today. We had like 63% possession of the in the first half. We finished the game with 59% possession. It means you kept the ball well as a team the whole game. Okay, this guy has made no mistakes today. Yes, I understand you want to see something a little bit more where he crosses someone, takes a shot. I get all that, but we also criticize. Hold on, we also criticize Rashford for doing that too much, because when Rashford gets the ball, he doesn't like to pass back. Just let me finish. Let me finish, and then you can go. Rashford does the same thing. He gets criticized so much for taking on too many players, and they're like, oh, he always dribbles into these dark alleys where he doesn't get the ball. Like he tries to dribble, loses the ball, and all that. Then you get a guy who keeps the ball well. You're recycling the ball all game, and you're creating enough chances. And if we had a better striker, we would have scored a few more goals today. And you're picking out him. I don't understand why no one picked on Bruno today, the guy who was giving up the ball so much for no reason. He's so impatient with the ball.
Okay, so firstly on this, Bruno has been called out by Cam on the show by saying he had an awful game today.
It's only because I was in the chat going about it. He was like, yeah, he's not going to get subbed. I was going crazy on it.
What you said about Sancho is this: the people that have a go at Rashford for trying to score goals and win us games are only doing that to defend the Martials and Sanchos that don't do anything to win us games. It's not about actually hating on Rashford, used as a technique to defend their own player. It's about balance. So listen, sometimes Rashford and Bruno make the wrong decisions, and it annoys me. But I'd much rather somebody make the wrong decision trying to win us games than go, I'm just
he was winning, Terry. You don't need to take risks.
No, you do. You do.
What?
When your job is a winger and a creator, your job is to attack your fullback and try and win and score more goals. We can't be 1-0 up and go, do you know what? For the rest of the game, I'm not going to try and take a man on. I'm just going to pass it back to keep possession from the 9th minute of the game. Come on, Staffy.
No, that's also not what I said. That's not what I said. But when you have a teammate next to you that every time he gets the ball, hold on, because Bruno, every time he got the ball, he made the wrong decision. So if I'm his teammate and I'm looking at him, all right, every time we keep the ball, we already have one person who every time he gets the ball, he wants to shoot. That's the one thing he always does. I think Bruno's the player the most in this team that every time he gets the ball, he's thinking of how he can get an assist or a goal right away from stupid position. Yeah, it works sometimes. But on a day like today, where he's losing the ball too much, taking stupid shots, all of them are off target. Why am I supposed to add to that? Because we're already cruising in that game. Yes, we want to score one more.
Can I ask you a question? So can I ask you a question, Staffy? So would you rather a player try to score us more goals and create more, or at no point tries it?
It depends on what position you are in the game, Terry.
No.
I get what you're saying.
No. I'm talking generalistically. Do you want a player that is trying to score us goals and win us and guarantee more points? Or
Terry, there's no right or wrong answer to what you're asking.
Right or wrong answer.
No, there is. There is.
Come on.
There's definitely a right and wrong answer. No, there is. No. I need an island with Staffy. No, sir. This is my turn right now. He is talking absolute was, bro. Here is the problem. Bruno has been one of our biggest producers in terms of goals and assists and winning games for at least 2.5 years now.
I'm talking about today, bro. Don't talk about other games.
Let me finish.
Talk about today. Talk about today.
Okay, you said let you finish. Let me finish. Now, Rashford has been our key producer all season. So, if you have a game like today where Bruno is wasteful and he's making the wrong decisions, you can say he's had a bad game. But when you have a Sancho who's been here for 2 years, who's done absolutely nothing, and every time he plays, he's making runs and passing sideways and passing backwards, it is a reasonable thing to say that he does not look like he's on it. He doesn't look like he wants it, and he looks like he's making the wrong decision. Or less, maybe he's passive. Maybe he's not making the wrong decision. He's just not making a decision. Not having a good game is not the same as having a great game.
Maybe Sancho should also be proactive as well, because if Bruno's having such a bad game, where he's wasting all these passes, maybe it should be on Jadon Sancho, who came in as a creator, to start actually creating and stop passing the ball to Bruno Fernandes to give it away. Maybe he should take a little bit of impetus rather than just passing sideways and letting it go to Bruno so he can get all the criticism. Bruno Fernandes is always going to do that, because guess what? The best attackers are going to give away the ball because they're trying to make stuff. I have less respect for an attacker who tries to keep it safe and tries to not be the one who has the nasty headline on, oh, he gave the ball away too much. Have a bit of confidence about it. You cost 75 million.
I agree with Staffy. Wait before. I agree with the part where he didn't have a bad game. He's doing semantics here. Sancho didn't have a bad game. He just had a game. But that's the issue. We need more from players. So, we can't just have just a game right now. There need to be more. And so my main thing with Sancho is I think he actually can work for Man United. He's just on the wrong side.
Agreed.
Because he has not got the explosive speed, he always tries to check back onto his onto his right foot, and he can't do it in time, and the defender can keep up. The one time he was on the right-hand side and drove and did a 1-2, he made something happen because he's confident that his right foot is on the right side. I think that's his main issue. Put him on the right, and if it clearly doesn't work there, then he needs to go. But that's
I
just me.
agree with a few things straight up. Like when it comes to say, like I actually do think he had a bad game because I do like what Terry says and what we always say is we want our wingers to be proactive and to attack and to be dangerous. At no point today, other than maybe one play, did I feel that Jadon Sancho was dangerous, and the other team feels that too, right? When Garnacho comes on and you're saying, "Oh, he just did the one run by," it was not just the one, but that one take on was so glaringly obvious for everybody that it showed the deficiencies in Sancho. And that's what you have to look at, because when Garnacho comes on, he's immediately a threat. And it was in multiple situations. Even when Weghorst had that cutback and Garnacho was just out of position, like Sancho would have been nowhere near that. And this is the problem I have with him right now. And it's like Terry says, cream puff, and he's like, I wouldn't say it to his face. Listen, I would tell that kid he's soft to his face. I wouldn't care, because at the end of the day, he needs to get in the gym. He needs to find out what Rashford did in that offseason, because when you look at him and you look at the rest of the wingers in the Premier League, the ones that are the most successful, they're the ones who can beat their man, hold their man off. Every time Sancho goes by a man, what happens? They touch him and he goes down. Same with Martial now. We have two guys like that now. Listen, I want Sancho to be I want him to be good. I want so much from him. But until he's able to play at the pace of the Premier League and beat mans and keep them off, he's not going to be, because he can't do those tricks and tick. All that technicality we talk about that he has, he cannot do that in the Prem until he gets some power. Plain and simple. Listen, I'm a track runner and I could never beat dudes when I was younger until I got bigger and stronger. That's what he's got to do. He's got to.
So what was Sancho doing in the mountains? What was the trip to the mountains?
That was a mental thing, not physical.
Yeah, I have no idea. There's a comment here from Kay that says you're supposed to recycle the ball and wait for openings, not run blindly into defenders and lose possession. And again, these things are right within reason. But if at no point in a game, just take it away from United. If at no point in a game does Jack Grealish or KDB or Mahrez or Foden attempt to beat a man, attempt a through ball through the eye of a needle to break a line, you never score goals. You have to take risks. You have to take risks. That's why KDB and Trent, the two most productive creators in the Premier League in the last 5 years, give the ball away more than anybody else in the Premier League, because they are consistently trying to break lines and find their attackers. If they say, do you know what? I'm going to get my loss of possession down to 5 per game to satisfy Baller FC, No Knowledge FC. About to say something offensive then, I decided not to. About Andrew Tate posters and all of that, but I'll leave it out the way. If they decided to do that, they stop creating. They've stopped creating. You need to take risks, and that's my issue with Sancho. Yes, there are times where he might have 3 men around him, he passes back. I agree, but there are times where he's one-on-one and he doesn't go at his man. It's about balance. Of course, Rashford should be criticised when he runs into a blind alley, but at the same time, Rashford keeps going at his fullback. Whether it's 1 guy, 2 guy, 3, at least he's trying to do something. I want someone to take responsibility and take risks. And then I want there to be balance. There shouldn't be any whataboutism. I know Sancho doesn't try and do anything, but what about when Rashford tries too hard to win us games? I've never been too angry at somebody trying too hard to win us games. The other way, I ain't got time for that. But I've got some more super chats to do here. First one says, I've already done that one there. That caused a bit of a debate. Because KJ, you're not always the quickest to give up, bro. I know. You have confident moments as well, but you give up too easily. Lol.
That is also not true, but okay.
Easy reason Liverpool goal disallowed. Klopp being a big bollocks all weeks. Bad PR. Another bad managerial decision in a bad season. He's done. Is what man like Judge says.
So hold on, we've lost that game because my manager chatted stuff.
Hang on. You can't talk here, Tom. You've been saying Klopp out for 6 months. So shush. Hush your little
my
mouth.
Manager now. My manager.
You don't get to defend him there, Tom.
He said worse.
You can sit there with a little Beatles haircut in Liverpool giving it, but you know what you said. That was a foul on Ericsson. That was a red card too. In fairness, that was a bad tackle on Ericsson, but he didn't catch him, so that's why he only got a yellow. Hold on, guys. There are 2 games left. As a Barca fan, I'm loving this. It was up to me. You United fans can have Frankie de Jong on loan. Well, we will say this about that deal. Barcelona are going to go all out this summer for Kimmich to replace Busquets. And in the summer,
With what money?
De Jong was told they're gonna raise money for himself. De Jong was told when Busquets leaves, you're the main guy. So De Jong is on, as far as I'm concerned. Green tick time, baby, it's on. Zane, the Notre Dame, where are you? Where's your next prediction? He did say Bournemouth are going to win. Goodbye. Is it a GG, Bobby? What does that mean? Glory, Bobby.
Yeah. Good
As a
game,
Man
Bobby.
United fan, you gave me lots of heartaches. As a football fan, you deserve that goal and farewell. Man United, go get the single point and end them fools. I like that. Pity the fools.
That's classy.
Why are you talking so much about the useless club Liverpool? Because it's a joint match reaction, Nabil.
You just Nabil support.
Yeah, he supports Chelsea, I swear to God.
No, Nabil's a Man United fan.
Okay.
He's a confused one. Refs should be hold responsibility for all decisions on the pitch. VAR protect the refs. Abolish VAR.
Agreed.
Zane RIP. Like, listen, metaphorically, he's talking here. I want to see what Klopp does this summer, is what Omar says. Thank you. What I hate about the Scousers is the fact they bring the whole 7-0 loss and corner was taken quickly by.
If any was mentioned at the stream.
By the way, Debbie is a City fan, not a Man United one. By the way, all the 7-0 people in my comments have disappeared today. I told you it'd be irrelevant. And do you know what I'm mixing with my vodka today? 7-Up. True story. Don't lie. Dizzy and Neeks was there when you said it. And he corrected you. You talk about being a religious person and then blatantly tell lies. Check the review. Liverpool bar 1-1, 36 minutes. Which game's that on? Which game is that on?
Barcelona 2-2. I did not say I'll be happy if we lose. That is ridiculous.
Never
Nabil.
once.
And why are you always
Nabil's taking notes. Every sniff up.
Literally, that's all he does. Why does he take accountability for himself and actually enjoy life? Listen, no, I would do. I'm gonna pray for you because you're coming after me personally.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Because the way you come after me, Terry, and everyone else, you need prayer, my brother. You need to enjoy life. Okay. All right. Cool. I want to stop interacting with you because you don't do my spirit well. You need.
You remind me of my mom. Man. He said, "Pray for your enemies." I love it, man. Respect.
I've just listened to it. What KJ said, and I just listened to it. He said, if it meant winning the Carabao Cup, he said, would you would you mind going out of the Carabao Cup? He asked a question. I keep saying this to people that listen to YouTubers. Questions are not statements. So if it's trending that Arsenal are crazy for buying a dog instead of a new midfielder, right? And I say, do you think it's mad that you bought a dog? Honestly, the way people's minds went, oh, Terry thinks it's mad that we bought a dog. So, no, I'm asking whether you think it is or not. Katie didn't say he wanted to go out. He literally said, would you mind? He asked a question, Nabil. A question isn't a statement. Legitimately, I don't even mean this horribly. What is it with asking questions that makes people think it's a statement nowadays? Or am I the mental one?
No, as I said, Terry, as I said, he needs prayer. And I'm going to do that tonight.
If I didn't, you know what I mean? I'm going to pray for my Scientology God for you, bro. I'm going to pray to Isaac Newton. You know what I'm saying? Tonight. Atheist FC. Do me a big favor, people, and hit the like and the share button. Remember to enter the raffle. Enter the raffle now for the FA Cup tickets and £250 spending money. You might even want to sell the tickets. You know, you might want to go to the game, but make sure you go and enter that raffle now. Only 6 days remaining. Boys, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for coming on the show tonight. Thank you very, very much indeed. We're live after Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal as well. So make sure you come back and tune in for that. Until next time, everybody, listen, you take care. You look after yourselves. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.